To you all. It's nice to be back here again this week. I'm here to testify in opposition to Senate Bill 445, which is the act concerning liability for recreational use of land. My first selectman of my town of Wilton, Bill Brennan, has submitted to you some written testimony that goes into great detail about Wilton's concerns, some of the concerns of our surrounding towns like Richfield and Reading and Bethel and so on, and also about the Norwalk River Valley Trail, which is in development to go from Norwalk to Danbury. So I will not dwell on that. I'd like to go a little bit more into detail about the situation we're facing with the bill now. As we all know, many of our towns have made and are still making a significant effort to acquire open space, specifically to ensure that their residents have ample access to outdoor recreation in a natural setting. And this legislation we have before us really takes direct aim at their ability to do that. It does happen that I live in the town of Wilton, where the accident that led to Conway versus Wilton, I believe it was in 1996, the case that resulted in the elimination of immunity for municipal recreational land happened. From that time, again about 15 years ago, municipalities no longer benefited from the limited immunity from liability that was extended to other types of owners of land who made their property available without charge to the public for recreational purposes. Without this immunity, towns are exposed to frivolous lawsuits as well as to potentially excessive costs for preventing them and for building a defense when they do occur. In the intervening years since Conway versus Wilton, there were many attempts in the General Assembly to restore that immunity to Connecticut's towns. And last year we finally did it with House Bill 6557. The passage of this bill was made possible by a compromise that excluded town-owned swimming pools, playing fields or courts, playgrounds, buildings with electrical service and machinery from the immunity. In a really unusual display of solidarity that said a great deal about the importance of the issue and the importance of the bill, more than 110 legislators from both chambers and both sides of the aisle signed on as co-sponsors. It's absolutely clear that our cities and towns value their open space and are intent on keeping it accessible to the public. Senate Bill 445 is an attempt to diminish the benefits to towns of last year's welcome and overwhelmingly approved legislation by legislators from all over the state, all parties, all persuasions. Not only does this proposed bill tamper with a carefully structured compromise that satisfied all parties, but it also forces towns to face the consequences of inconsistent policy. One day it's this, another day it's that, and then it goes back again. At a time when there's substantial focus on health and wellness initiatives and on reducing automobile usage, it's essential to preserve the immunity of towns and cities for recreational land use. Increasing their legal and financial exposure by passing this legislation would do exactly the opposite. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chick Marcoux.